Prabhupada, Jayo Jayo Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrakacharya Astatarishrat Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrakacharya Astatarishrat Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर धाम की मथुरा धाम की द्वारका धाम की गंगा माई यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की ऑल गौरीज टू assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayadudirayet nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So today we are doing Canto 3, Chapter 18 and Text 5, and the title is The Battle Between the Lord Boar and Hiranyaksha. Tvai samsthite gadaya shena shirsnya asmat bhuja chutaya chatubhyam balim harante rasayo yacha deva Soyam sarvena bhavishante amula. Tvai samsthite gadaya shena shirsnya asmad bhuja chutaya echattuvyam Balim harante rasayo yacha deva Soyam sarvena bhavishante amula Tvai samsthite gadaya sena shirshnya Asmad bhuja chutaya echatubhyam Soyam sarvena bhavishante amula Balim harante rasaye cha deva Soyam sarve na bhavishante amula. Prabhuji. Tvai samstite Balim harante rasayo cha deva. Soyam sarvendana bhavishanti amula. Yep. Mataji? Pujachutaya chadupyam. Bali. It's 3:18:5. Tvai samstite gadaya sena sirsnya. Asmat pujachutaya chadubhyam. Balim harante rasayo yecha deva. Soyam sarvena bhavishante amula. Word for word translation. Tvai, when you, samsthite, are killed, gadaya, by the mesh, shirna, smashed, sirshani, skull, asmat puja, from my hand, chutaya, released, a, those who, cha, and, tuvyam, to you, balim, presentations, haranti, offer, rashaya, sages, a, those who, cha, and, deva, demigods, swayam, automatically, sarve, all, na, not, bhavishyanti, will exist, amula, without roots. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. The demon continued, when you fall dead with your skull smashed by the mesh hauled by my arms, the demigods and sages who offer you oblation and sacrifice in devotional service will also automatically cease to exist, like trees without roots. And purport. Demons are very much disturbed when devotees worship the Lord in the prescribed ways recommended in the scriptures. In the Vedic scriptures, the neophyte devotees are advised to engage in 9 kinds of devotional service, such as to hear and chant the holy name of the God, to remember Him always, to chant on the beats Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To worship the Lord in the form of His deity incarnation in the temples, and to engage in various activities of Krishna consciousness to increase the number of godly persons for perfect peace in the world. Demons do not like such activity. They are always envious of God and His devotees. Their propaganda not to worship in the temple or church, but simply to make material advancement for satisfaction of the senses is always current. The demon Hiranyaksha, upon seeing the Lord face to face, wanted to make a permanent solution by killing the personality of Godhead with his powerful mace. The example of an uprooted tree mentioned here by the demon is very significant. Devotees accept that God is the root of everything. Their example is that just as the stomach is the source of energy of all the limbs of the body, God is the original source of all energy, manifested in the material and spiritual worlds. Therefore, as supplying food to the stomach is the process to satisfy all the limbs of the body, Krishna consciousness or developing love of Krishna is the sublime method for satisfying the source of all happiness. The demon wants to uproot this source because if the root, God, were to be checked, the activities of the Lord and the devotees will automatically stop. The demon will be very much satisfied by such a situation in society. And demons are always anxious to have a godly society for their sense gratification. According to Sridhar Swami, this verse means that when the demon will be deprived of his mace by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only the neophyte devotees but also the ancient sages devotees of the Lord will be very much satisfied. Now, Mangalacharan. Om Jnanathimirantasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Khadamayam Dadadisho Padantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamcha Sri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Shadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Vitamsa. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Sri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishuvanu Shute Devi Pradmami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatiru Vaisha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome to Bhagavatam class. So today it's my first class. If I make any offense or if I say anything wrong, then please correct me. Don't take it offense. I'm just repeating what I've listened. And once again, welcome. So we are in text 5. Here we can see that Hiranyaksha is angry. He is getting angry and angry. So going back to verse 3, the Hiranyaksha was saying that he was addressing Lord as Suradama, best among the demigods. And yesterday, in 4th verse, he was saying that Lord as a rascal, and he was saying Tam Yoga Maya Balam, you whose strength is bewildering power. And also he was addressing Lord as Alpa Purusham, whose power is meager. And today we can clearly see that he is giving death threat to the Lord. He is saying that by the mace, I'll smash your head and bring it to the ground. He's giving the death threat to the Lord. And so we can see that Hiranyaksha is getting more angry and angry. So anger is one of the demoniac quality. So Prabhupada also says that when we get angry, then our body gets more polluted and polluted. Our consciousness also gets polluted. So why is Hiranyaksha getting angry here? So there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita 2.62. It says, Thayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangas Teju Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodha Vijayate. When person contemplates on sense objects, first he develops attachment. And then from that attachment, he develops lust. And when his lust is not fulfilled, then it converts into anger. So in verse 3, we can see that Hiranyaksha was addressing God as, O best of the demigods, dressed in the form of a boar, just hear me. This earth is entrusted to us, the inhabitants of the lower regions, and you cannot take it from my presence and not be hurt by me. So he was, the Mother Earth was in the Rasatal. It fell into the Rasatal, and Hiranyaksha had a desire. He had a desire to conquer whole universe, all direction. So when Mother Earth fell into the Rasatal, Hiranyaksha had a desire to possess it. But we can see that Lord Boar came down and lifted the Mother Earth with his talks. So when he saw Lord Boar lifting the Mother Earth with talks and going up, and Hiranyaksha saying that, he is not now no more possession of the earth, then he became angry. He became angry and he started to abuse Lord. So we can clearly see that how when one contemplates on sense object, then that it turns into the lust, and that lust ultimately changes into the wrath. Also, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kamaesha Krodesha Rajagura Samudvaha Mahasano Mahapapma Videyanam Ida Varinam. Lord Krishna says that, O Arjuna, it is the lust. O Arjuna, it is lust only, which is born of contact with mode of material passion, later transformed into wrath. It is the all devouring self enemy. And we can see that in further verses that Hiranyaksha and Lord Boar will have a fight, and certainly Hiranyaksha will get killed. So yeah, the anger is anger, lust, and greed is road to the hell. So we should always try to control our anger. So coming back to verse 2.62, where Lord was saying, when person contemplates on sense object, first it develops attachment, and then from that attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises. So we can see in the pages of Bhagavatam the story of Ajamil. So Ajamil, when he was sent by his father to collect the woods from the forest, he saw a prostitute and a low class man engaging in lustfully engaging in sense gratification. And initially Ajamil contemplated on the sense object, and when he began to contemplate on sense object, and that converted into the deep lust. And he had a wife in his home also, so he kicked the wife out of the home, and he accepted prostitute as his new wife. And he was so lustful that during his last period, like when he was old, he had a son. And when death was near to him, he saw the Yamadutas coming with ropes and everything, danda and ropes. And Ajamil got fearful, and his youngest son name was Narayana, and he called to his youngest son Narayana. And he says when he saw the Yamadutas being frightened, he called to his younger son Narayan, and at the same time Vishnudut came, and Yamaduta and Vishnudut had a discussion. You cannot take this guy. He has taken the name of the Lord Narayan, and now he is purified. And Yamadutta was saying, no, he has done a lot of sins, so he should be going to the um, hell region. So we can see that how uh, holy name of the Lord is powerful. Um, I was hearing the audio biography of Radhanath Swami, The Journey Home. So in regards to how powerful is the holy name of the Lord. So Maharaj was hitchhiking in the Himalayas, and he went to Janakpur in Nepal to Janaki temple, and when he was visiting the temple, he saw a sadhu named Vasudev. Vasudev was very friendly. From outside, he looks friendly and nice, but Maharaj could sense that inside he is pretty depressed and pretty sad. Something is inside him which is hurting him, but he was not revealing it to Maharaj. But they were friends and they were discussing and everything. And Vasudev one day says to Maharaj, "So you have come from America to search out for God and everything, and you have also been to many gurus and everything, but not every gurus are sincere. Some gurus are also cheat." He was telling something like that, and Maharaj got surprised. How can a guru can be a cheat? He was so innocent that he didn't know about everything. And suddenly the rain starts to pour down, heavy rain, the monsoon rain, and they take shelter into the abundant places. And there, the rain was pouring heavily, and Vasudeva was more sad and sad and sad, and Maharaj could feel that he's getting sadder and sad. And Vasudeva bursted with tears, and he was just crying and crying, and Maharaj telling, "What happened? You can share with me." And he was not sharing initially, but later he shared his story. He was in Calcutta, and he did a PhD from a university there, and his English was also like Queen's English. And in his locality there was a great guru, and he was like powerful. He had a powerful disciple. He was famous. He was well known and everything. And the disciple of his guru approached to Vasudeva says that you take initiation from this guru, our guru. And Vasudeva says, "Okay, first let me check. Let me have a time, and I'll tell you." And he starts to research about this guru, and he finds out he is a leader of a tantric sect. Like he is a black magic. He does the black magic and everything. So Vasudeva got frightened with this, and he says, "Oh, I'll not take initiation from him." And later his disciple comes and starts to abuse Vasudeva. "Why are you not taking initiation from this guru? This guru is famous. This guru is powerful. Why are you disrespecting our guru?" This disciple comes and threatens the Vasudeva, and Vasudeva initially declines and everything. But he was a tantric. Tantric are black magic are dangerous. They can even manipulate the minds of others, and they can even take the soul out of your body and do different things. And that guru, being envious of Vasudeva, he create havoc in his life. He take him out of his job, and he also manipulated the mind of his mother, and his mother also kicked him out of the home. "Why didn't you take initiation from the guru?" And things like that. And Vasudeva was left all alone. When he tried for new job also, he was so envious that he used to come back again and again and hurt him. And initially he didn't get any job and everything. But one time what happened, that guru, that black tantric man got so envious of him. He tried to get the soul out of the body. He tried to kill Vasudeva, but taking the soul out of body. But he tried to inflict pain on him, on the subtle body. So he recited the tantric mantra and tried to take the soul out of the body. But Vasudeva was telling Ram, 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 Ram. He was chanting the holy name of the Lord continuously. And he could see that the holy name of the Lord was working. that he was trying to take out the soul from his body, but he was able to keep inside him. Like for 2 or 3 days, he chants and chants and chants, but ultimately that mantra gets that weapon gets back to the one who sends it, and he gets killed. And Vasudeva later goes to Janakpur and says to Maharaj that, yeah, I'm wearing a sadhu dress, but my heart is not like of sadhu. I know if I fully surrender to the God, then He will certainly relieve from this misery, but I'm not able to surrender. So we can see from present day example also how powerful is the holy name of the Lord. So again coming back to the same verse, so one may says like, I'm not contemplating on the sense objects, but it is also said that if one associates with a materialistic sense enjoyer, then he will be certainly affected. It is said that the association of lusty person is dangerous than the association of woman. For example, we can see in the Bhagavatam also, in this Leela also, like when Bharadeva lifted Mother Earth from the Rashathal, a son was born from them, whose name was Bauma. Later he associates with King Bena and develops all the bad quality. And Bauma becomes Baumashura later. He kidnapped all the young princes from the kingdoms, and actually he kidnapped I think 16,000 young women, and he held refuge. He locked them in the prison and he kept with him. So we can see that how dangerous it is to associate with the materialistic person also. So also here we can see that Hiranyaksha is continuously using abusive word and saying, okay, I'll smash your head, and he is addressing Lord with different names like Banagocharam, Mirga, Surathama. But we can learn from the Lord here that Lord, even though Hiranyaksha was using verbal and abusive word, but Lord Baraha didn't listen to him. He could have stopped and said to the Hiranyaksha, hey demon, what did you say to me? You don't know who I am? I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He could have said like that. But first he felt like that, okay, first my duty is to put Mother Earth on her original orbit. Then later I'll come back and deal with this demon. So the nature of this world is to criticize. People always criticize other. People will say, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. Even in devotional service, we all of us have experienced that people and family members criticize us. Me personally, I have experienced that. When I was new into Krishna consciousness, I was with Karmi friend, and when I started following all regulatory principles, and they were like surprised, and they were like, hey, you are not doing sense gratification, what is this? Your life is so dry. And even when I used to chant the holy name of the Lord, then when they used not to be in home, I used to chant the holy name of the Lord. When they used to come, then I'll be scared, like, oh, there are four of them, I cannot outweigh them. So I used to chant them. I used to chant the name. So we can see that how people criticize us also. So in Bhagavatam also we see that Prahlad Maharaj, he was always remembering Lord Vishnu. He was chanting the name of the Vishnu. But Hiranyaksha, seeing his son chanting the name of the Vishnu and always remembering the Vishnu, he was envious of him. He tried to get rid of Prahlad also. He threw Prahlad Maharaj from the cliff. He brought big elephants to crush him. He even put him in the fire. But Prahlad Maharaj had a deep faith in the holy name of the Lord. So he has a deep faith, and he was protected by the Lord. So we should also, in spite of whatever circumstances we face, whatever difficulties or whatever criticism we get, we should always remember the Lord, and we should have faith in the Lord, and Lord will surely guarantee that He will protect us, and He will ultimately take us home. So, yeah, and Hiranyaksha here is using a lot of abusive words. We can see, like I told before also, like he's saying, Bonagocharam, Mirga, Agna, Suradhama. He's saying like, you are the animal, you are the fool, you are the lowest of demigods. He's addressing Lord as the rascals and everything. And Hiranyaksha is wasting his words, criticizing. So the letters, the words, the akshar, should always be engaged in the service of Lord. We should not never misuse our words, letters, and akshar. The akshar, we can say letters or words, is the form of Brahman. So in the Bhagavatam we can see that Daksha Prajapati misusing the words when he was performing sacrificial yagna, and he was entering through the sacrificial arena, and there were 5 gods, brahmanas, demigods, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. And so when he was entering, his bodily luster was so effulgent. His effulgence was like of a sun. He was so effulgent that even the 5 gods and the brahmanas were looking insignificant in front of his luster and effulgence. And meanwhile, everybody stood up, demigods, 5 gods, brahmanas, but Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma sat there. Lord Brahma was father of Daksha Prajapati, so Daksha Prajapati was not offended. He said, okay, he is my father. But Lord Shiva was the son-in-law of Daksha Prajapati. Lord Shiva's wife was Sati, Mother Sati. So Dakshapati seeing Lord Shiva not waking up, waking up, then Dakshapati gets angry. And Daksha Prajapati starts criticizing by saying, the eyes of Lord Shiva is like a monkey, but my daughter eyes like a deer cub. He lives in a filthy places and wears the garland of skull and snake. He doesn't even wear the garland of flowers. And also he goes further ahead and he says, he wears deer skin, tiger skin and elephant skin. He doesn't even wear a nice dhoti. And he says that he doesn't even have a home, and he always associates with the demons and puts ashes on his body. He's a filthy person. His consciousness is also not good. Because Lord Brahma told me, that's why I gave him my daughter. I will not have given my daughter to this filthy man. He was criticizing Lord Shiva like nothing. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentioned that Daksha Prajapati misused the words, the form of Brahman. And when Daksha Prajapati misused the words, then he didn't guard the body for 5 Manvantar. His head was chopped by the Birvatra. And to get the body, he actually, I think, meditated for 5 Manvantar, and in Chaksusa Manvantar he gets the body. So we can see that how the words, the akshaya, the letters should be always be engaged in service of Lord, in glorifying the Lord, and glorifying the activities of the Lord. So Prabhupada in this purport, he is mentioning that the demon Hiranyaksha, upon seeing the Lord face to face, wanted to make a permanent solution by killing the personality of Godhead with his powerful mesh. And the example of an uprooted tree mentioned here by the demon is very significant. Devotees accept that God is the root of everything. So, and it is impossible to take out Supreme Lord Krishna. It is like Lord Krishna is the source of everything. Ishvara Param Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and He is the original Purusha. From Him, He is the source of everything and He is the Adi Purusha. So we can see that Lord Krishna is the root. He is the root of everything. And so to take the Lord Krishna out, which Hiranyaksha is trying to do, it's like trying to take out the people tree. You know how people tree, how many times you cut it, but it will still sprout. It will again grow back. So you can also see in villages, maybe in India, in Nepal also. So in the roof also sometimes people starts to grow. There's one interesting thing about people tree, how it grows is like, I think birds, especially crow, when they eat the fall, you know, the fruit, what is it, fruit or something like bird, let's say, eat the fruit of the people tree. Then when they throw it out, then from that people tree grow. We cannot grow people tree by our hand, you know, by transmigrating or digging, or it's like almost impossible. So we can see in the rooftop also that people tree is growing. How many time we try to take it out, but it will still be there. So the same is with the Supreme Lord. Like demoniac person tries to take out the Supreme Lord. They tries to establish the rule of the Supreme Lord, but they are never successful. The law will be always there, like how sun arises in the morning and sun sets at the evening. They cannot do nothing. The law are already set there, and also Lord is the life and soul of devotees. So if one does not want to serve the Lord, then he will not be happy. So since we are the part and parcel of the Lord, if you try to separately enjoy without Him, then we cannot enjoy without Him. So since we are the part and parcel of Lord, then in our every activities we should bring Lord in the center. Whatever we do, we should bring Lord in the center. And Prabhupada is also saying in this verse to chant the holy name of the Lord and discuss His activities, that which we are doing always in the temple. Every morning we are having discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the holy name of the Lord. So in the purport, Prabhupada is also saying that in the Vedic scriptures, the neophyte devotees are advised to engage in 9 kinds of devotional service. So the 9 process of devotional service are like Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, and Atmanivedanam. So hearing, Sravanam means hearing. So we can see in the Bhagavatam also, like Maharaj Parikshit hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami for 7 days, and his life was successfully. He achieved the abode of Lord. And also chanting Kirtanam. Sukadeva Goswami was reciting Bhagavatam to the Parikshit Maharaj. So he was also engaging in devotional service. Also remembering, Prahlad Maharaj is the foremost. He was always remembering Lord Vishnu in whatever the situation was. He was always remembering Vishnu, and he was having faith in the protection of the Lord. And the next is Padasevanam, serving the Lord's lotus feet. That Mother Lakshmi does always. Lord Vishnu is lying in the Anantasesa, and Mother Lakshmi is always engaged in massaging the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. And deity worship, Archanam. And Maharaj, we can see in Bhagavatam that Maharaj Prithu used all his royal possession in order to offer Lord, even in order to do the devotional service. Even we can see that King Indradumna spent a lot of wealth for Jagannath to build the temple and everything. And praying, Bandhanam. So Akrura, when he was going to the Vrindavan, he was praying, and so we can also offer prayers and please Sri Radha Gopinath and Dashem executing order. So the foremost example of servitude will be Hanuman. Hanuman executed all the orders of Lord Ramachandra. He went to Lanka. Even he did more than what Lord Ram told. And Sakyam, serving as friend, that Arjuna and Krishna's friend did it. So Atma Nivedan, the last one is Atma Nivedan, complete surrender, which Bali Maharaj did. Bali Maharaj gave all his possession, and even he gave himself to the Lord Vishnu, Lord Vamana. So here we can also see that demon's criticism, like he's saying, demon is criticizing the Lord by saying Bana Gocharam, which means residents of the water. But the word of Bhagavatam is meant for glorifying Lord. Every word of Bhagavatam is meant for glorifying the Lord. So even a single word of Bhagavatam has like unlimited meaning. So it seems like demon is criticizing the Lord, like saying Bana Gocharam, resident of the forest water. But indirectly it's a praise. Indirectly it's a glorification of Lord. So Bana Gocharam means Narayana who lies on the water. And similarly Mirga is saying animal, beast. But the indirect praise is that one who is sought after a great sages. And Agnya, fool. He is saying Lord is a fool. He is criticizing. But the glorification is that there is no knowledge that Lord doesn't know. He is cognizant. He knows everything. He knows everything that is manifested also, that is unmanifested also. He is cognizant. And also we can see that Hiranyaksha is criticizing Lord by saying Suradhama, lowest of the demigods. So the indirect praise is here is Lord of all demigods, best of all demigods. So the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam is that we can take out many meaning from even a single word and even a single letter of the Bhagavatam. So we can see that when Lord Chaitanya and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya met, that Lord Chaitanya described the Atmarama verse to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in 7 different explanation. No, I think in 18 different explanation. I think 18. He described Atmarama verse in 18 different ways. But when he again met with the Sanatana Goswami, he described same Atmarama verse in 61 ways. So we can see that like how these words can be used in glorification of the Lord. So I'm done for today. Thank you for attending. Any question or any criticisms or anything, please feel free to ask. No question? Okay. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki,